So this song what's playing now, God's Plan, Drake, is actually the song what I posed to when I turned pro in 2018. So just before I was about to go on stage to do my posing routine, it wasn't supposed to be this song. The person who was doing the music said your music isn't playing. So I was like, I've sent it over in the right format and everything. He said, yeah, we just can't get it to play. We're gonna have to play something else. So I was like, okay. It's like, what have you got? So he started going through some different songs. And I was like, nah, this is no good for me. I said, what about Drake, God's Plan? It's like, yeah, I've got that. I was like, yeah, we'll just go with that. And I probably had about 30 seconds between me picking that song and going out on stage for me to do a routine. And when I said to like my friends who were there after, like Hader, so my good friend, he was competing, he said, oh, I didn't know you were going to post that song. I was like, I didn't know I was going to post to it either. And he said, it's one of those things, it's literally God's plan, because that was the day I not only won my class, but I also won the overall, and it's Amateur Olympia, so 3 people get a pro card, and I actually won the whole show, walked away with the sword. And it's songs like this, so this is on my playlist, songs like this when I'm training and I hear this come on, it's that extra motivation, extra fire for me to do more, just to keep going, because the last time I won a show was 2018, and that's what I want to still achieve now. And it's little things like this what for me gives that extra fuel. And it's like, even driving now, listening to it now, it brings back some good memories, and I would love to post to it again. And part of me wants to still post to it again, but I've also got to appreciate that this was part of a memory in a memory bank, and I don't want to like undo what this memory and what this song sort of means to me as well. So in to get my weekly fade. Last week my cousin was away, so he's already going to cuss me for how my hair looks already. So he's just asked me how am I cutting it, and basically not like last week because I had to go somewhere else to get a haircut. So I would say the usual, please. And
could have waited, but then
I could have waited, but
went
I
somewhere
like
else.
to try and look fresh. So the fade last week was all right, but it was just taking a little bit too high. So I think now with how long it is,
Who did your hair?
you should be able to save me. We don't need to out no names.
Some of these dishes are £2,000.
And there's not a lot on the plate.
I didn't even realise it existed.
And there's not a lot on the plate.
They were showing us a golden steak. A golden steak, yeah? Well, I think it was 21 grand. Someone's gonna eat that. 21 grand, bang. It's actually making me want to do.
What, you want to be a chef now?
I might.
I think that's how it is though. It's like, I think some of my biggest supporters are the people I don't even really know. But I think that's where it's important, where whatever you're trying to build, you just stay in your lane, because if you're doing it for likes, then you could end up disappointed. I think Liverpool have gone clear now. Liverpool have gone clear, especially now winning the league and the players are going to get in. Yeah.
Nah, they've had their little time. They've had their time.
They've not even started yet.
They've had their time, and it's just like once you've had that moment of everyone watching you saying you're gonna do it again, nah, it's not gonna work again.
Yeah, but look at Man City, how they did it.
Yeah, Man City done, man.
Liverpool's performance ain't been all that with certain small teams either. It's straight through like 1-0, little 1-0, little 2-1. It's not been.
But imagine.
That's how Man U used to do it though. The games they should have lost.
Yeah, they grinded it out. But imagine you coming in as a manager for the first season and you're winning the league. Yeah. What statement that brings.
That makes a big statement.
That's what I wish Man U would do. Respect for that, cuz. Weekly fade is done. Feel better, feel fresh already. So do you eat like the same things every day, or do you change it?
Trying to probably do tuna pasta, chicken and salad, And then probably sometimes normally like I'm cooking tonight, I reckon it was like lamb chops, roast potatoes and veg. So I'll have some of the lamb chops for tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'll put some pasta with it.
Yeah.
And then I'll still have my crackers.
Yeah.
And I'll always take my boiled eggs in the morning.
So it sounds like you're eating the right things, but it's like, so I work with guys like yourself, so lifestyle clients who just want to lose weight or get in shape or build muscle, or people who compete, but it sounds like you're not eating much throughout the day. So then when it comes to the evening, where you say about the snacking, your hunger's high, so you want to eat more. Where realistically, where you say to me, oh, you're eating 5 meals a day, that's a lot of food.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's not actually that much if you spread your meals out evenly. So for you, if you don't want to eat much in the morning, you could probably have something where you've got maybe some fruit and some yogurt to set you up for the day, where you've got your protein and then you've got your micronutrients and vitamins and minerals from your fruit. And then throughout the day, you can have smaller meals throughout the day. So for a snack for you, like what sort of foods do you like? Yeah, are you flexible? Here we go, Pringles. Trying to actually speak sense here. He's hating on what you're trying to do. So it's just trying to find what food you like and spread it out throughout the day. Like when you go to the gym before you train, what do you eat?
Well, just before, when I finish work at like, say, 6 o'clock, I'll go straight to the gym, but I'll probably would have ate at 4:30.
Yeah. Okay, but what would that meal be at 4:30?
Well, that would have been like yesterday, that would be my chicken and salad.
Okay, so
like 5 chicken wings and some salad.
So this is where I would say you need to get some carbs, some carbohydrates to give you some energy for your workout. Because if you're just eating protein, it's okay, but some extra carbs to help you through your workout is gonna.
Pasta with that or something.
Yeah. Some carbs will help you, and then you've got to think about, so your main window around your training is what you eat before training, potentially during training, so you might have a carb drink, or you might have like amino acids, what's going to help your recovery and your training performance. Then post-workout, it's you want to replenish what you've lost from training. So you want a bit of carbs again, and then you want a bit of protein with it as well. So it doesn't have to feel like it's, like, you'll probably, if you came to me, you'll probably feel like, wow, I'm eating loads of food.
Yeah, when you said 5, I'm like,
yeah, you'll probably feel like you're eating loads of food, but it's more what you're eating in those meals. So if you're eating lamb chops, that's going to be higher in fats compared to eating chicken breast. So you can get more for your calories, but it's just what foods you're going to pick to help you.
I remember that.
You're going to have to message me, man. I'll help you.
I will.
Honestly, I'll help you. Get his face on camera. Because he's gonna be helping him
out to lose the belly and to gain the muscle mass too.
We'll do it all.
Yeah, man, respect for that.
Yes, see you in a bit. Next week. That is Faye complete. Meal 1 sorted. Now going to go and pick up my client from the train station who's coming to see me for an in-person check-in. Really looking forward to seeing him. I've not seen him in person for 6 months since he's joined me, just because of where he lives in London. So looking forward to seeing him, mapping out what the direction is for him moving forward from here as well, because he's just finishing a lean growth phase before transitioning now into maintenance before we go to a cut. So time to get my car from the car wash and then pick him up. I was looking for you this way. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Anthony, this is Pete, videographer, the main man behind the content. You're looking large and in charge. How you doing? If you see my last car, I had an Audi A3, and that was like a 3-door. I had that for the longest time. But I've, touch wood, I've had really bad history with cars. So when I had the A3, you're laughing, Peter, because I know that you know about that as well. When I had my A3, that was the most reliable car I had. Every single car I had before that was probably in the garage every 2 months max. Always,
though, right?
oh yeah, always swinging around. So the A3 was good. It was just not convenient size-wise, and it was a 3-door, so that's what I got this. But I want to get a 4x4.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know what I want, but I've just not seen the one I want yet. A GLE SUV. Just because when I first had this, it was getting some work done from the main dealer, and they gave me just one to drive around in, and it was the first like sort of, I'll say, SUV that I sat in, where I thought, I actually sit in there, and I can fit in there. I don't feel like I'm squashing the seat. Tell them how old you are, because
Well, I'm going to be 45 next birthday, and so I can actually compete in the over 45 category.
It's mind blowing because your physique is so good, and I don't just say that because you're my client. I say it because I genuinely mean it, and like this is why the goals I've set for you are high goals. So you've been with me now just over 6 months, and when you first initially came to me, you wanted to compete this year, and you could have competed this year, but I also set the benchmarkers because I know what a longer off season will do for you. The way I've seen it from your previous approach is if you took a bit of extra time to build muscle tissue, hold it, and then diet down and then repeat that process another time, the extra muscle tissue, what you will build in the foundation, what you would then have to go into a competition prep would be far more productive. It's like even what you're saying now when you're saying that you push food too high too quickly, that's going to impact then when it comes to you doing a competition prep because your body's not in a good state to actually transition to the prep. So everything we're doing now is laying the foundation for the future. Yes, you are going to be 45 when you next compete, but your body is so fresh, and that's exciting for me. Like I enjoy this side of things, knowing that there's so much more to come from you. And it's like when we see you when you pose anyway, to see the definition in your quads at this weight as well, it's exciting. It's exciting.
I got my brothers and my fam standing next to me. I go to war for what I love until the death of me. You quitting in the first is not a threat to me. Because what break me is what makes me, it's my destiny. I know we heard it all before, but let me give it to you straight. When you're back against the wall, you just step up to the plate. Who to call, who gon' fall, don't be asking who to blame. Go insane, ayy, since I lit the flame, I ain't scared to burn away. Burn away.
You've added to it.
A little bit, yeah. But, you know what, though, this breathing's a bit hard because of
because of how you're feeling,
but
that's fair.
it's fine.
But taking the breathing out of it, I can see where you've added it. I think the biggest thing at the moment, what I'm seeing, is your hamstrings. So I see your trekking pictures each week, and we always talk about your quads, this quad sweep. What I'm seeing is your adductors have come up a good amount, and then also your hamstrings as well. So when you go into your side chest, and we go through the poses again, you'll see now you've got that hamstring dropping more. That hamstring drop is better. From the rear, in the rear poses now, even at where you are, peak body weight, you can see the separations coming through your hamstring still and your adductors. I want you to keep your chest lifted up, but at the moment from your abs, it looks like you're relaxing them quite a bit. So you might have to contract them down. So unless you're going to hit that vacuum pose and hold it up, what I want you to think about is contracting your muscle, just like you would when you're contracting your quads. You want to get into that pose. Breathe through, and then try and actively take the air in through your chest. So right, I'm going to get you to relax a minute. So arms down to the side, rotate from the waist, keep your arms completely down, rotate from the waist. So I want you to think about here, I want to see the width across this shoulder to this shoulder here. We want to see that top line thickness. You're a wide person, really wide. But to show that width, it's got to come, the rotations got to come from the waist to show that width. So right, here looks great because you can see the separations through your hamstrings and also your adductors as well. But at the moment, when you're getting into this pose, you're bending your legs quite a bit. So I want you to stand up a little bit taller, but still think about pressing your feet into the ground, but then externally rotating your knees, driving your knees outwards. Yeah. Good. That's better. So your legs look thicker now. So this is, Anthony, peak off season, lines in the glutes, separations in the hamstrings, and you can see this is just a sign of what's to come for him. So the conversation we had in the car, he said that he's been this body weight before, but never been this body composition. And for any athlete, you're always going to have a body part what's probably going to store that little bit more fat when you hold it. So whenever we do a check-in, your constant feedback is, I'm holding around my stomach, holding around my stomach. And while I appreciate what you're saying, I also see the rest of the package as well. And this is just an example of your level of condition. So this is a really important point for anyone who's sort of in the off-season period. When you get to your peak off-season weight, you still want to be able to see and appreciate the beauty of the physique. So for me, seeing the separation of your hamstrings just then and your glutes and the separations that I see in your quads and even the level of density and mass you've built, this tells me that we've gone to a point where we've not pushed beyond. Yes, we could have put your body weight up higher, but at what extent? We would not be seeing those lines there. So for me, I'm glad, because I don't see this normally. And this is where it's great to see your clients in person so you can appreciate that. And that's amazing to see. Your programming, I know we spoke about this before, was different to what you was doing before. I know you wanted to train so many more days than what you was training before.
No, this is actually good because I can feel the difference and I can appreciate the rest of the 2-1-1 off.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're pushing it, mate, you need a day off.
Yeah. What was your training split before?
It was...
And training days?
Yeah, like it was 3 days on and 1 day off. But I think this suits me in terms of growth, and I actually feel I need the rest days now.
Yeah.
So I can see it all coming together. So yeah.
I think so. For me, one of the things that really stood out to me, the fact that you never had times where you actually had a pullback, like deloads and having scheduled rest.
That's true.
And I think even sometimes when I'm speaking to you, I'm asking you the question. I think you're still of that mindset. What I used to be years ago is like more is better. I'm not tired. It's okay to be tired. I want to push through. But I think now you actually listen to your body and you're working with your body as opposed to against it.
I'm not a spring chicken.
You say that, but you still look fresh.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big difference. And the programming standpoint, where we've got that whole posterior chain day now, the difference is like even when you went to bend down, seeing those lines, like as a coach, like that's.
I've never been that lean, sort of this, like the end of a push-up phase.
Yeah.
I mean that's I didn't even know that.
This is the thing what gives me goosebumps, because I see what's unfolding, and sometimes you reply to me and you say to my other clients, I'm like, it's going to happen to you, and you won't see it until you start to go through the process. So we push your body weight up now. We're in that holding phase. Let that tissue set and mature, which you didn't do before. You used to go through the whole push-up phase and then diet straight back down.
Yeah.
So you're not actually letting that tissue set and mature. So it's maturing. Then when we diet down, we're not going to get to stage lean, but your lean is probably going to be like, wow, Mark, if we push for another 4 or 6 weeks, I could be ready. It's like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But then we're at a new baseline point where we can then push back up gradually again, and you might only end up at the same way you are on that weight you are now, but that look will be completely different to this look. So I'm excited to then see you again when you got to your next end of your push-up phase, because I guarantee your start point for a prep is going to be a very strong point, because what we're seeing now already, the foundations are being laid, and this is where I've had to take that step back and put myself in your shoes. Do I want to step on stage and be competitive, or do I want to step on stage and be better than competitive? Do I want to be like number one? And that's where I said to you, yeah, you could compete this year, but taking extra time lays the foundations. And laying those foundations is going to set you up for what's to come next. And I get it. You want to compete because you've always competed year on year.
I mean, if I was to do like a smaller show, because like, I'm just asking because like, at the end of a sort of 10, 12 week, if I'm looking like I've got lines going on and
he's put me under pressure now with this.
Just a smaller show. This is a smaller show.
You know what? You've said this, and I've got another client who said this to me. Nick has said, so when we get to the end, do you think we could maybe do it? I said, let's focus on this goal, because I don't want to make those promises.
Yeah.
If it doesn't take away from what we're trying to work on, potentially, but our main goal is when you step on stage, I don't want you to be 80%. Even at a regional, I don't want you to be, I want you to be stepping on there like, you're there.
Yeah.
Because this, to me, it's about building confidence. And if I put you on stage and you're getting beat by someone who shouldn't be beating you, that reflects on me, and that reflects on your confidence. And I've been there before where I've competed and it's hurt me where I've placed, because I know I should have been better. And that's not to say you can't get beat, because as an athlete you can get beat, but why did you get beat? because you wasn't where you should be. Or you can go, if you want to glory hunt and just get a trophy for the sake of it, we can do that, but you've got to look at the bigger picture. And I bet in about, what, 4 months' time, we'll be saying like, he's on stage and he's competing because he really wanted to do a show. And he's won it as well. But we'll see. But honestly, I'm really impressed with your progress I made, what you're making. And that's not just me saying it because you know me, I'll just say things how it is, but I've got high hopes, and this is why I hold you to the standard that I hold you at.
And my sleep as well.
Yes,
My
and
sleep.
your sleep.
I know I'm going to be a bit late,
Yeah.
but I am trying to get the sort of 8 hours in.
Yeah.
I'm working on that one.
So I think you'll appreciate that I've grilled you a few times on your sleep, on your sleep time. And the reason why is because I know how important rest is. And that's not to take away the fact that you're doing anything what you shouldn't be doing. So you work a job where you're a PT. Naturally, sometimes you get back late, so it's out of your control. But your duration of sleep is good. And I know that if you could go to sleep earlier, you would, but it's just physically not possible for you. And this is where, as a coach, it's like, I understand that and I respect that. I can't tell you not to go to work to earn your living because that's your living. But in an ideal world, if you was working a 9 to 6, but you're not, I would say, you've got to get to sleep earlier than what you are. But you're still looking fresh, you're looking great, you're making the progress, and I think that's what counts. And days like this, when I get clients to come down and they've taken time out, I remember when you first asked me, like, I know you're on prep, is it all right? It's like, this is more than all right. And this is what gives me a sense of pride. Like, I get pride of seeing my clients do well because I want to see you reach your goals. As much as I want to reach my goals, your goals are of equal importance. So don't take away from what I'm trying to do in my prep. If anything, it enhances me because it pushes me to be better. So I want you to do better.
Nice one.
So we keep running it up.
Awesome, bro.
Just say, keep ticking those boxes because everything we do right now, it's going to pay off in the long run. And seeing you in person, like, pictures are great, but seeing you in person just shows a whole different story. And
I'm inspired again, bro. Like, seeing you as well, it's like levels. There's levels to this.
But it's like you're telling me a compliment, and I get shy by it. But I'm literally just saying, like, for you to come down here, take time out and see me, like, this shows me how much you want it as well, because it's not just a thing where you're online, you're not taking that time to actually get the feedback and actually put it into practice. So I know you are that person, because the last time you came, you put it into practice. We was giving you that posing feedback and you're drilling that fact. We can see those changes. So it's just completely just keep refining the craft, getting better at it, and you're already seeing what's being
But you know that I can't see it myself. But
I know you can't, but luckily there's some nice pictures what you'll get back and you'll see, and you should be very happy with what you're achieving. But
right.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming down.
Thanks, my man.
Appreciate you. Let me know when you get back safe and you get your meals in as well.
Oh, 100%.
100%. So this is part 3 of my rest day, where I've got sort of like an appointment, something going on. So haircut has been ticked off, definitely needed that. Really good to see Anthony, my client, come down today and see him in person. And now I'm going to go and pick up some trainers which I've had cleaned from a cleaning service. And if anyone knows me, I really do like my trainers, especially my Nikes and my Jordans. So I've got a few pairs to pick up today. I won't tell you which ones they are. To be fair, they weren't actually that bad, the condition, but because I was taking some of Kerry's to get clean, which she didn't know about, for her birthday, I thought I'd take some for myself as well, just so they look good. So looking forward to seeing them. I've not had them now for about a week and a half. Not that I've really missed it, because I've had other ones, but I am a trainer fan, and I have got some what are still in a box, what I've not even worn, and I've had them for over a few years as well. So yeah, I can't wait to go get these and pick these up. So here today at Sneaker Fresh, come to see Chet. Chet is the sneaker plug, shoes plug as well. If you want anything sort of restoring or looking the business, he's the man. But this is just some of the items he obviously works on. But my main thing is, well, it was Kerry's birthday a few weeks ago. and I came to him to clean some of Kerry's trainers and also some Doc Martens, which were absolutely battered. You definitely had your work cut out with that, and how
Yeah.
you brought them back to life, I don't know. So
remember.
because I was bringing Kerry's trainers in, I thought I might as well drop off 2 of my pairs as well. So I'm going to stop talking. They're my 2 pairs. What have you done to bring these back to life?
Right, so these ones firstly, Mark, so these received a full deep clean. So essentially what we did, we unlaced the trainer, put the shoe trees in to maintain the shape, and then we've cleaned the whole external part of the shoe, jet washed all the stitching, so as you can see that's ice white, looking brand new again. Removed all the scuffs from the midsole and this white sole here, and then let them dry overnight and then relace them back up. So that's what we did with them. Obviously we've cleaned the inside and steam cleaned that as well. So they're fresh, antibacterialized, and we'll put some air freshener in just a minute.
So you've done the soles as well?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the best we could get them.
Very happy
and the
with
back, we
these.
took all the scuffs off the back here as well.
Attention to detail. So normally when I'm like driving and I'm
Yeah,
pressing
yeah.
that foot down,
Yeah.
this is what gets the scuffs just there.
Common problem. Everyone gets it, and I always see the right foot is worse than the left because that's the
Yeah, that's
the
accelerator.
accelerator. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
And then these, essentially we did the same job again, Mark. So full deep clean, unlace them, we clean the laces separately. As you can see, we've gone into so much detail with the air bubble, cleaned all of that, removed all the scuffs, the stitching again. The undersoles are looking white again. The only difference between those and these is we did the same kind of work, but on just to finish off and make this black leather pop again, we added like a leather balsam on there. So you've just got you've just got that shine on there.
Yeah, these are really nice. To be fair, like both of these weren't bad in sort of condition, but I was looking at these. So I'm mainly a Jordan 3s person.
Yes.
So I got these 4s just because I wanted something a little bit different, but these have become like one of my favourites. And it came to a point when I was wearing it, I was like, oh, these are starting to lose a little bit of its like cleanness and its pop. And I thought, you know what? Do I buy another pair?
Yeah.
Or do I see if I can actually make it look better than what it is? And this literally looks like a brand new pair again.
Perfect,
so very, very happy with those.
And you had a lot of sock lint on the inside here. Just on the heels, which is common. Everyone gets that from the sock, from the friction. We've removed all of that as well using like an anti-bobble machine and just got in there. So we've gone to real lengths and detail to get these back right. Do you wear these to the gym?
No, these
I do see you wear a lot of Jordans to the gym.
I wear Jordans, but I've got Jordans what are just strictly for the gym. I would never wear these two to the gym. Like, what I'm wearing now, I wouldn't wear these to the gym. So I've got the cheaper pairs for like day to day walking around. And then these come out probably once every now and again. So it's not very often. So these, that's why I said these weren't actually bad, but I started wearing these a lot more recently. So you've literally brought these back. So I appreciate that.
Wicked, no worries.
So just aside from that, because I know there's going to be lots of people watching this who are into their trainers as well. How does your service sort of work? Do people have to come into you, or can they post trainers to you?
A lot of people post out to us as well. So they'll post them to us, we'll give them the price, they'll post them to us, and then we'll do the work and then post them back. Most people come in, drop them off, leave them with us, we'll give them a time frame, we'll let them know how much it costs. Any issues that we can foresee at the beginning, we'll let them know. So for instance, if we spot an area that might be difficult, then we'll say we'll work our best on it. But 9 times out of 10, we get them back to obviously near new. So yeah, going back to your question, mainly dropping in, people come in and then pick them up again, but then we do get a lot of postal as well.
Wow, amazing. Like there's so much here sort of going on. Like I'm looking at this and thinking, how do you remember whose trainers are whose? Because there's like so many here, over there. You've got working in the background on these trainers. Like
you've got LaRue
your memory must be good.
To be fair, Mark, as you can see, we've got loads down here. Because I've run out of shelf space, so they're all in bags that we're Now I remember per bag, but I do have a diary as well where I'll write in, right, these trainers belong to this customer.
That's fair.
This is what day they'll go in, so you know if you've dropped them today, they might be not get clean until Monday, and then we'll tell them when they're going to be ready again. Any delays or anything that we see that we think are going to occur, then we'll let the customer know prior to their collection date.
Yeah, appreciate that. You also clean kerries. I know you didn't take the befores and afters.
Yes.
Have you got any sort of what kerries look like before and after? Because you restored, well, you didn't restore, but you cleaned those.
Yes,
so
I
good.
have. As you can see, there's scuffs all along the midsole there, and there. I'm pointing those out. And these are the Jordan 4 canvas. These are one of our most difficult cleans. They're really difficult to do. So on these, the drying process is really important. And then the ones that you mentioned that were near the boiler, or you had a leak on the boiler, as you can see.
So that had a bit of mould because that was in the boiler and it leaked the water down.
Right.
Tried to clean it myself, but there was no way I was bringing that back to life.
So as you can see there. And then, so that was that, and then this is how they all looked after, as you can see. Scuff-free midsoles, stitching looks relatively almost brand new again.
It's so hard to get these elevates as well.
And I know Kerry would have been impressed with these as well. So they came out fresh. Again, a really difficult clean. But the star of the show was probably the Dr. Martens.
Those were, that and the canvas pair.
As you can see,
so good.
All that residue and all that mould is gone. So
smashed it again. So this isn't the first time we've used you for cleaning trainers. This time I gave you a little bit more notice to actually get these turned around as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate. And then I've got some trees as well to keep them nice and fresh as well.
Some accessories for you. There you
Cheers. Go. No doubt I'll be back again soon in the near future. So thank you very much.
Anytime at all, Mark. I appreciate the customer.
Thank you very much.
Always. It's good to have you as on the customer portfolio, as I say.
Because you know I've got a lot of trainers.
Yeah, that's why I approached you in the gym.
It's true. It's true. So I got tapped up in the gym. There's me normally just training, doing my thing, maybe even trying to help someone else, give them some advice. Came to me and told me about trainers. So I'm glad you did, because you've definitely helped me out, because I can't clean these the way you have.
Yeah. Because I can tell from what you're wearing that you're into your trainers. Yeah. Straight away I know whether you're into your trainers or not, just from that. So when I seen them, I thought, let me just ask you to see if it's something that you need. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But a lot of people do with the kind of caliber of trainers you have.
Yeah, and here I am again.
Yeah.
Right, that's a wrap. That is me over and out. This is my sort of day in the life, behind the scenes, rest day, doing a few bits. But appreciate you all for following along with what I've gone through today. Chet, I appreciate you for getting this sorted and turned around so quickly. So
anytime.
For me, it's now back home to do client work. For Peter, he can go home and has the rest of his day. Client work, food, and just prepare for tomorrow, because I'm back in the gym. So it's not a rest day for me. So like, share, subscribe, all the usual. Appreciate you all for watching and following along the journey.